This is Sybert signing into General's Evolution for a 2v2 on the map Coastal Confrontation. On the left side, playing the GLA Talks, this is E1A2. Their teammate, they're playing Vanilla China. It's MTKing. Don't think that's MTKing from Smash Brothers, but maybe it is. Although definitely not. Meanwhile, on the right side, playing the red, this is CheesyButterfly China Nuke. Watch out for those tanks. And playing China Infantry, this is King-MORA. Triple China, 1 GLA. No hope for the USA players out there in this one. Excited to see Coastal Confrontation, a new map to me, although it does say it was originally designed by Predator, so I'm guessing this is a Kane's Wrath map that was ported over. Predator, a great map maker, actually possibly the best map maker. I'm not sure, there might be some other people giving him a run for his money, but Predator, quite possibly the best map maker in Kane's Wrath history. Maybe there's, again, a couple of people who might be close to equals, but Predator has made tons of great maps, so it's kind of cool to see one ported over to GenEvo. Looks like we've got a couple of oil derricks in the south, and then one in the north and one in the middle per side. Propaganda center being tucked away into the corner. That is a really far back propaganda center for CheesyButterfly that is being well hidden, perhaps, but it is a quick push to the propaganda center, and you want that isotope stability. $2 grand, 1 minute of research, but very worth it. Very much a needed upgrade for anyone playing China Nuke. Otherwise, those Battle Masters will indeed do friendly fire when they die, and we have seen many times, especially on maps with bridges, we have seen many times that those nuclear Battle Masters do more harm than good. Engineer does get sniped. I really appreciate that E1A2 managed to grab that observation post. Actually, MTKing grabbed it. Grabbed the observation post, and that is a fantastic position to be able to spy on your opponent. If we switch over to MTKing's vision, huge vision inside of his opponent's base due to those 2 observation towers. So excellent job by MTKing. Going to be causing some problems for his opponents, forcing them to spend cash on an engineer, which got sniped, and then they just have to kill the observation post there. Tunnel network or whatever was denied there. CheesyButterfly going on the assault with these GATs. No super early game harass, as everyone was playing a little bit more eco. We see expansions in the southern half of the map, as well as those 2 additional oil derricks being captured down there. GATs continuing to cause problems for Team Blue. CheesyButterfly got a decent amount of value. Multiple GATs, or multiple quads, maybe a technical and a worker as well. All for the price of 3 GATs, and 2 of them did survive, one of them ranking up to heroic. Additional dozer coming out for King-MORA. We have a couple of assault troop crawlers as well. The great lie of the assault troop crawler is that you feel like they are going to win you the whole game, and then they oftentimes just die instantaneously. Nice snipe on that heroic GAT. Well done by E1A2. And finally, CheesyButterfly going to be taking that observation post back. Might even be better just to kill that one. Your opponents have already taken it, and it doesn't give you particularly useful vision. Although, maybe it does, considering they are drawing a battle line through the middle of the map. They are looking to steal this center of the map contested ore node supply dock. And that actually could be really powerful if they're able to hold that middle of the map, use it as a position to launch attacks from. However, We'll see if CheesyButterfly and KING-MORA really let that stand. Fortified bunker is here. Bunkers are devastating if you don't have proper Air Force, and E1A2, being the only GLA player, is also the only player without an Air Force in this map. So it's going to be up to the sneak attacks, the tunnels, those rebel ambushes to try and break his opponents. No demo rebel ambush for E1A2, unfortunately, as he talks, but he's still got those sneaky GLA tactics to try and break these bunkers, or more of just skip the bunkers if you're going to rebel ambush or Inferno cannons. Busting out a firestorm. Arty strike lands in the south, but yeah, getting past those fortified bunkers can be really tough, and using the sneak attack or rebel ambush to try and distract your opponent, considering you don't have aircraft, can be very important. Inferno cannons will be able to ignite a firestorm on top of these stinger sites. I do appreciate that more and more players are going for Inferno cannons, or at least in the games that I have seen, more and more players have been going for Inferno cannons. It's nice to see them make an appearance, even here on the south side. MTKing going for some Inferno cannons as well. They're incredibly useful, and yeah, nuke cannons might have the splash and the fun. They have the bigger burst and the cooler look, but Inferno cannons are incredibly useful, and they ignite that firestorm. I think it's 3 shots, maybe it's 4, but I think it's 3 shots in the same area over a relatively short time. Firestorm will ignite on top of the Inferno cannons, grabbing a Battle Master as well. E1A2 is going to have to be watching out. Mewtwo King as well, going to have to be watching out. Black Napalm has been purchased, and the Firestorm doesn't ignite, but it is enough to knock down that Assault Troop Crawler. Mines being cleared the old-fashioned way, I guess. A couple of Scud launchers are here, and it looks like an Arty strike will land on the back line. A couple of airfields out for MTKing. Scud missiles to clear that out. And wow, triple nuclear missile from MTKing. We do have a total of 4 nuclear missiles on the right side of the map, and only 3 on the left side. We might see some Scuds be purchased. Got that Anthrax upgrade as well. Toxin General can, because of the poison, can create a very significant area of effect attack to deny any reinforcements, utilizing either the Scud or an Anthrax bomb. MiGs coming in, not able to land any shots, though, so the infantry going to be pushing this army back. Of course, minigunners don't care much for ECMs. ECMs will help to shut down the Taskmaster tanks, and this GAT is going to shred the infantry. The MiG will help break that KING-MORA, making some progress in the south, but Defender's advantage is hugely advantageous here in GenEvo. Reinforcements also coming in from the north. E1A2 going to make an appearance, perhaps even catching this army and sandwiching it from behind. CheesyButterfly not able to create much of an advantage in the north. We might be waiting for nukes to line up their timers, as we now have 9 of them out on this map. It was a pretty quick move to nukes for all of these players. MiG gets sniped. Firestorm will ignite. Black Napalm burns down a couple of quad cannons. Rocket buggies helping to finish off the rest of these units. KING-MORA. This is one of those maps that it seems like we are going to be in a war of attrition. Oh, those Scuds getting sniped by the MiGs. But it seems like this is one of those maps that divides in half very easily, and both sides have a decent amount of area to build. They have lots of space to put black markets or internet centers, you know, or supply drop zones if we had any USA players. But then you also have these 2 expansions down here, plus the oil derricks, so you have a decent amount of starting cash. And hey, we will see a Scud storm. It is very much on the front line, vulnerable to an attack potentially from the very top edge of the map. MiGs coming in. Big firestorm catches a big chunk of the army there. A couple of Inferno cannons, perhaps a couple of troop crawlers as well. Rocket Buggy's going to be stepping forward. Nuclear Battle Masters, we do, now that we do see them, we can assume that they have had the stabilizing isotope purchased, and the MiGs come in with some devastating effect. Those quad cannons able to snipe some of the MiGs, but the rest of the quads getting annihilated on the front line. You shall not approach CheesyButterfly and his nuclear MiGs, because they definitely pack a punch versus those low health, low armor units. This is more ECMs than not in this army. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to silence everything that quickly, and that is a lot of dead MiGs. Aircraft are good, but minigunners are so incredibly good at killing aircraft, and I don't even know that a single MiG dropped any kind of bombs or missiles. We do have a second Scud Storm here, so the potential of a Rebel surprise is going to be launched on the right side of the map. E1A2 going to be switching to Molotov cocktails. They're going to try and burn down that nuclear reactor. He sniped the MiGs on the deck, which was definitely a good choice just to deny them from being able to get off of the ground. And now we have a couple of GATs going to be getting added into the mix. It'll take them a while, but a nuclear MiG will launch a bomb and do only a little bit of splash damage. Much less splash damage than I was anticipating. Man, those assault troop crawlers absolutely obliterate any aircraft that are anywhere nearby. Arty Strike comes in. Where is it going to be landing? Possibly on the back line there, as it will find a couple of these assault troop crawlers, but the rest of them have tried to close the distance. A couple of the minigunners have been able to eject. Some MiGs coming in for support. They get shredded. Not many drop their bombs as the Inferno Cannons and Taskmasters make their way into the blazing Inferno. Even the Dozer gets killed. I'm not sure why he was on the front lines. Meanwhile, back in the north, CheesyButterfly seems to have pushed back the attack from E1A2, or perhaps the reinforcements have been rerouted. These nuclear cannons need to be dealt with, otherwise they will chew up this army. There is not a huge amount of armor here with these minigunners. That is just so much radiation. The minigunners trying to push through the pain, but they will not find themselves with much of a warm welcome. It's rocket buggies, it's Inferno cannons. This nuclear... Oh, that nuclear cannon actually did survive. A couple of nuclear MiGs dropping some bombs in the south, and I don't know how many. Was that 4 MiGs? 4 MiGs. I think 4 MiGs just hit one building and didn't actually kill it off, which is pretty hilarious. And we have our first nuke of the day going to be firing off on top of the MiGs, on top of the command center. I think that was a dual nuke right on top of those MiGs. Maybe could have spread that one out a little bit more. Orange dropping his nuke on top of those black markets. I guess between those couple of nukes, pretty decent spread from these players. Another nuke in 35 seconds, another nuke in 0 seconds as Blue is ready to fire his nukes, hopefully onto the right side of the map somewhere. Assault troop crawlers trying to break through those nuclear cannons. Well, one of them is set up, the other one isn't. And the one that isn't set up also dies. So, well, both of them die. I guess it doesn't matter. A couple of nukes firing off. Another nuke is dead. I don't know what's going on here. At 8:10. I think that guy is glitching out. A couple of blue nukes dropping on the red base in the north there. Finding a pretty big spot to drop. Goodbye to the oil derrick and the nuke. Meanwhile, the GATs will be able to hold the line. MTKing going to be able to hold off his China opponent in the south. King-MORA finds a little bit of pressure, a little bit of damage, but ultimately is not able to make anything happen. And 2 Inferno Cannons is not enough to ignite a firestorm, but it is enough to kill off that Stinger site. 5 seconds until the next nuke. 30 seconds until the first Scud Storm, and those Scud Storms with their toxins can be extremely deadly for a long time. We have seen in the past anthrax bombs and other toxic weapons be used to great effect, not necessarily to end the game, but instead to kill an army. deny reinforcements, poison an area, war factories getting sniped, and so much about GenEvo is about the production. It's about the macro cycles, and it's about disrupting them oftentimes. That's how you gain the advantage. CheesyButterfly rebuilding some infrastructure, perhaps rebuilding some war factories to spend his 17 grand that he's got. Adds in a fresh command center in the south. I'm waiting for these Scud Storms. There's 2 of them ready to go. Well, a couple of them are going to be landing here on the front lines, destroying the entire army. Second Scud Storm is ready to go. Team Orange is going to... Oh, he might actually use it. No, that's a lot of infantry. He might have to use it back in the north to try and keep this area clear. Stop any reinforcements. Carpet Bomb and a new MiG strike will clean up a big chunk of this infantry. What's left will be cleaned up by the GATs. Actually, no, there are no GAT cannons left. Another Scud Storm will land. I guess it landed on top of these internet centers. Didn't quite clean them out. Big damage done back at home. Nuclear missiles courtesy of CheesyButterfly. The other one hasn't been hasn't disappeared yet. We do have that little bit of a glitch. Wow, those nuclear MiGs doing good work versus those rocket buggies. But the war of attrition continues between these players, and yeah, this entire area is very poisoned due to that anthrax, although I think it did just wear off. So finally, it is safe again. Rocket buggies moving in. Arty Strike cleans up a big chunk of that infantry. 30 seconds until the next Scud Storm. Those rocket buggies sniping the assault troop crawlers from a distance. Scud Storm could potentially clear out. Nuclear MiG. MiG strike as well going to be called in. Kind of going to be stopping that army from retreating, at least in that area. Scud Storm could be called in on top of the airfield, and then the army could potentially divert to the south. We'll see if E1A2 is actually able to make any headway here. Less than 5 seconds until the next Scud is ready. A couple of minutes until the next super weapon after that. Nuclear Battle Masters looking for their targets, and those quad cannons will eat a big shot. The radiation poisoning one of them. And the Scuds will land on top of the airfield, on top of the internet centers, as one of them may go down? No. Yeah, those internet centers are tough. A couple of them very low on health, but you need 2 super weapons to clear them out. Actually, particle cannons can do it, but obviously they have a much smaller area of effect. GAT's trying to move forward. King-MORA has made some progress, but his infantry army can be dealt with so easily by the splash of his opponents. Scud Storm does get denied. One of them has been sniped, but this anthrax in this area will continue to poison worker trucks and any reinforcements that pass through that area. Minigunners are amazing, but there's just so much anti-infantry in these army. They're actually cutting through 3 of those quad cannons. The GATs will get them. Eventually, the GATs will get them, but they killed 3 or 4 quad cannons before they died. Another nuke is ready to go. No idea where this one's going to land. Oh, it's in the north. On top of the ore mine, the supply dock there. And hey, the frontline Scud Storm ended up going down, but not at all to the thing that I thought it was going to go down to. I thought maybe it was going to be attacked, but no, it got killed off by support powers and super weapons. Reinforcements and frontline defenses get cleared out. E1A2 kind of trapped by the radiation. He could actually snipe this nuclear missile. There's very little here to stop him. Couple of GATs, couple of nuclear battle masters. They will get chewed up by these rocket buggies. They've closed the distance now. E1A2 a little bit apprehensive to back up too far. Yeah, he's got radiation to worry about behind him. Honestly, he could just right-click on that nuclear missile and get the kill. He might lose a couple of rocket buggies, but that would be worth it to deny that nuclear missile. Rocket buggies move forward. They're going for the Inferno cannons. They get the second one as well. And now they finally will chip away at that nuke. Who was that? Was that a defensive... What was... Who was that? Well, that was a defensive nuke and a defensive carpet bomb. That, I guess it does poison the area. It's far enough away from the buildings that it didn't damage his own buildings, but it did poison that whole area with radiation. Keeps the rocket buggies away. The rocket buggies keeps them away. It keeps them away. It keeps the army away. Ah, he was like, we're gonna eat it. We're gonna take the L on a couple of the units because we're gonna get the win elsewhere. Nuke in the south lands on top of the army, cleans up pretty much everything from I think that was King-MORA's army that just got deleted there. MTKing gets his nuke to fire off. The shots land, cleans up big chunk of the army. A couple of MiGs coming in for the strike. It's going to be a carpet bomb as well on top of the Scud Storm. All right, does, 80% damage. That was more. Last couple of shots there. That was more than I was expecting. I thought the Scud Storm would be closer to 50% health, not 20%. ECMs and a couple of GATs, a couple of Inferno cannons, all that has survived. MiG strike comes in the south. We'll get both oil derricks, so nicely done. Single MiG strike will be able to clean that up. CheesyButterfly and King-MORA, they have used their super weapons. They have used their support powers. Well, not all of them. Ooh, miss on the MiG strike. Does force the rocket buggies into the engage, but it's against Inferno cannons, so no need to worry about exploding battle masters here. None of the rocket buggies will be cleaned up, though. They are going to have to try and find a safe haven. That bunker in the north, which was built so long ago and has finally seen some use, finally seen some action. Cluster mine. I love the cluster mine in close proximity to your opponent. I believe that was MTKing who dropped this cluster mine, which is just a great way to kind of cover an area when you are... Oh, anthrax bomb, a proper actual anthrax bomb on top of the war factories. If only he could have dropped it a little bit further south, but still doing massive damage to that Inferno cannon as soon as he steps out. And their north side of the base has been broken. Is this a carpet bomb for the defense? There's the GG by CheesyButterfly, and King-MORA is going to attempt the defense with the carpet bomb. Actually, massive effect. Gets the nuke cannon as well. That would have been incredible if the rest of the game wasn't already so close to over. Scud Storm ready to go. 2 minutes until the next nuke. We'll see if King-MORA survives that long. Would love to see the Scud Storm fire off to take out a chunk of this base, make the cleanup a little bit easier. Arty Strike fires off. That nuke is firing for effect very close to home, and the Arty Strike finds him anyways. Carpet bomb on top of the internet centers. No! I thought it was going to miss that nuclear cannon, but no, it gets it. Rebel Surprise gets called in, and King-MORA, I assume, is just typing out some GGs. King-MORA is... not really producing all that much. He has 40 grand in the bank. I didn't actually realize how much he had, but it is a huge amount. And these internet centers will mostly survive. The power plants... Nope, the RNG didn't land enough rockets on these power plants over here to knock them down. So it will just be the slow death. The War of Attrition has been won by the left side. They had fewer super weapons actually utilized, but they had the wins that mattered, and they also didn't bank 20 grand early in the game. King-MORA, or CheesyButterfly, had at one point at least 16k in the bank. The macro was not keeping up. E1A2 also floating 42k right now. MTKing not floating anything. The only player left in the game who is actually spending all of his cash, making sure that it gets converted into something and isn't just banking it for the future. And of course, I mean, King-MORA, he hasn't been able to spend anything for a little while, but That's one of those things that... What's this command center doing? There's one dozer. A couple of nuke cannons do get EMP'd. They will be killed off by the units of KING-MORA. Even if the firestorm doesn't ignite, the GAT will help clean it up. Rocket buggies, MiGs, quad cannons. Oh, the nuke gets him. He stays in the game, perhaps just to be able to nuke the army. And he does kill off a huge amount of E1A2's stuff, but it is not going to be enough to save the game. KING-MORA, 20 seconds until the next nuke. Where is this one? Ooh, it's this one way down in the south, so it might actually survive. Will the lights stay on long enough, though, to keep him in the game? And, of course, the question is, where do you use it? I guess, you know, just use it on your opponent's base for effect, but it's not going to, you know, change the game. Carpet bomb is here on top of the nuke. Okay, yeah, that's more what I was expecting. And one to finish us off. Just for fun, knocks down a couple of buildings right at the end. Oh, and calls in a carpet bomb as well. He might actually get it. Yeah, the carpet bomb lands. Goodbye to that nuke. All right, nicely done by KING-MORA. Ends the game with 100K in the bank. And virtually no units, but, you know, that's not much of a surprise. The GG gets called after that last nuke lands. It is truly over as KING-MORA taps out. And that's the first game we've seen on Coastal Conflict. A 2v2, a war of attrition. Another one of those maps that just gets drawn into a stalemate very easily here in GenEvo. That'll be it for this game. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Sybert, signing out.